What's going on? What the goings on, y'all? Can't be me without the fidgeting. You know what I'm talking about? I would get into some this and some that, but hey, I don't even feel like being bothered. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna get straight into these theatrics. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even say what's going on, what the goings on. I'm trying to get to it and get up out of here. It's just one of them days. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we just tell you the stories, you know what I'm talking about, and find us something to do. You or me, already with the already. Shout out to the people on 8 Mile Road. So I guess, you know what I'm talking about? It's a hotel out on 8 Mile, you know what I'm talking about? And I guess they found a woman unalive. Now this particular hotel is in the Redford area. If you know, then you know. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't about the Pacifics. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about the details. And I guess this particular hotel, you know what I'm saying, it's a harvesting hotel to where, you know what I'm saying, you got people, homeless people probably staying there. You know what I'm saying? They say they got bed bugs, so they probably got you know what I'm saying, people that ain't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? You got women of African descent coming in and out of there, you know what I'm saying, with God knows what, doing God knows who. You know what I'm talking about? And it might be a little trapping in there too. You know what I'm talking about? And it's not on 8 now. It's a motel. It's not a hotel. And it's not a Holiday Inn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna be some further investigations, but you know, I looked and I seen a woman in the hallway and she looked like she wasn't supposed to be there. So we'll find out. You know what I'm saying? Surely but surely. You know what I'm saying? What it's gonna take though. That be killing me. What it's gonna take. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that have to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody famous gonna have to go out there and find themselves stuck in the pickle. But that's no here nor there. Let's move on. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Akbar V. You know what I'm saying? Heard your little freestyle. It's a little old. You know what I'm talking about? But I guess you had to remix it in order for people to hear. Cause at the end of the day, they probably messing with your function. You know what I'm talking about? And I see that you've been going live less and less. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that entails for you. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? You probably over somewhere else, you know, making it happen. It really don't make no never mind when it comes to me. You know what I'm talking about? I do like your music, so hopefully things go well for you as well. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It just is what it is at the end of the day. Shout out to the people in East St. Louis, which it really ain't St. Louis. It's more like Shock, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? But I guess East St. Louis it is because East St. Louis police pulled up. They pulled up into a project apartments. You know what I'm talking about? And they also pulled up to Jones Park because I guess, you know what I'm saying, there was 5 victims that were unalived and it was two injured in the situation. You know what I'm saying? How far the situation goes, we have no idea. But they went to more than one location, you know what I'm saying, to unalive these people. You know what I'm saying? They even found one person in Jones Park, you know what I'm saying, that succumbed to the injuries. You know what I mean? And there was 2 suspects. The suspects was 22 and 29. You know what I'm saying? They was of age. But I also got a story to where they was 15 and 18, and a person didn't know why they got unalived. You feel me? And I was looking at the individuals, and they probably was teasing them individuals about not having. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, this day and age, it's hard for people to accept jokes. I don't understand why. Or ridicule. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think for the people that got in trouble, right? They great grandfathers, you know what I'm saying? They was on the picket lines, or their great grandfathers was in the fields. You know what I'm saying? They was getting picked on every day. I don't understand why this generation don't know how to get picked on. You know why though? Because their parents probably don't know why. They don't know how to explain their life. You know what I'm saying? They either don't know how to explain it or they don't understand it. Either way it go. They don't know how to relay to the common folk what's going on. Some of them don't even want to, because they might not sound as eloquent as most people, or they won't have the right the discernment when it comes to explanation. You know what I'm saying? If people don't get it, then they get frustrated. I mean, I can go down a host of reasons why people can't think past go. You know what I'm saying? Because common sense ain't that common. No matter how many times I say it, it's still people that, you know what I'm saying, they gonna make their own stories and own assumptions about life. You know what I'm saying? And get their own frustrations as well. You know what I'm talking about? Things that it's definitely a thing I don't get, but I gotta get to it, I imagine. You know what I'm saying? So we should see how these suspects act in East St. Louis, and we're gonna get into some further details. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. Shout out to this young lady, right? I guess she did get viable information. Shout out to Gotham the God. You know what I'm saying? I got this information from you, good brother. And I guess, you know what I'm saying, she was on her way to a DoorDash delivery, and she got pulled over by a cop. You know what I'm saying? She was of African descent, and the officer was a clear officer. You know what I'm saying? Already, and she rolled the window down and proceeded to, state that she ain't have to get out the car and this and that. By the way, if you do get pulled over, I guess now, you know what I'm saying, the law has been passed to where you know what I'm saying, you gotta state your information whether you coming and going. But if you're a DoorDash delivery driver, you know what I'm saying, you are driving. You're not traveling. So by you driving, you know what I'm saying, you doing commerce. You know what I'm saying? Because your license is under DoorDash at this point. You feel me? So you gotta comply. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know the law to know that you gotta comply. Everyone's a lawyer. You gotta learn how to delegate. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't, and the officer pulled her out because his frustrations got high. Versus him talking to her like I'm talking to her, and you know what I'm saying, stating the due diligence for real, letting her know what's going on and how, you know what I mean, I can assist what you got going on. Okay, I ain't gotta pull you out the car. Give me your license and registration. Let me write you a ticket and you find you something to do. But if I pulled you over for nothing, now I'm frustrated because you not complying with what I got going on. You know what I mean? Because if I pulled you over and I had done, I'm trying to find something. And just comply with what they got going on so there won't be no frustrations. I like how Gotham the God say, you just trying to make it to the crib. We know at the end of the day, he probably don't know his job. You looked at like you was 35 and he looked at like he was 25. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't know what he was doing. But you played like you knew what you was doing. So once you understood life, you know he don't know what's going on. So while you getting out the car, you should be able to tell him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't how you do things, and whoop talk to him like a person. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the badge. You know what I'm saying? But they both could have had a better, clear view on how things work. You feel me? But you know, all I can do is state it. I don't understand. I would clearly understand if they don't get it though. Shout out to 3DNA T. Now I might have said it wrong, so I'm gonna say it again. 3DNAT. You know what I'm saying? I guess. Now I know her because I follow her, right? She's a female that did a 90-day challenge about living in her car. Then she ended up making a whole living arrangement out of her van. But she can also freestyle. So I guess she did a freestyle or spin that, right? Now before she did the freestyle, excuse me, I just bit my tongue. Before she did a freestyle, she went and got some money out the bank. Undisclosed, I ain't finna do all that. I was, because I wrote it down, but you know what? We ain't gonna talk about that. So she went and got the money out the bank. And when she was finna do the video, shout out to whoever's the cameraman. I guess it was her brother. And he like, nigga, what you need the money for? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to go listen to the song. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't gotta have the money. You just gotta spin it. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. And she like, nigga, listen to the song. So I guess she listened to it and she stated like, damn, this the trauma and attitude I be having. I need to, you know what I'm saying, have some better. That was the whole thing of the song. Nigga, look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Is that you? You know what I'm talking about? You can spin it. This is worth spending, but goddamn. You know what I'm talking about? Learn from your circumstances. That's what I got from it, but you know, to each his own. Speaking of boss, shout out to 38 Special. I guess you got them all geeked up. You know what I'm saying? You went on. I think the podcast is called Gas is Fuel. I can't quite. I don't know the podcast, but I know you went on one, right? And you got to stating the whole Jim Jones thing and how Jim Jones need to be quiet, and how Fat Joe and Jada is old. And they need to not smell nothing. You know what I'm talking about? What you smelling for? You should be making raps about what you smelling. And make raps about what you actually, you know what I'm saying, doing. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas is old niggas. You old niggas. I said this. You know what I'm saying? I gave you both sides because I liked the song. But, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, you old niggas need to, you know what I'm saying, quit rapping about what you got going on. 38 Special say he rap about what he got going on. And how you gonna rap to a drug dealer? You know what I'm talking about? I am the drugs. You know what I'm talking about? For real. I know establishmentation's probably high at this point. I mean, gone at this point. But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, he wants you old niggas to start rapping about them EpiPens. And whatever else, G-Rack, I can't even say it right. I'm laughing. Oh, man. Long story short, man, he said you old guys need to rap about what old guys talk about. We all old. I'm old. You know what I'm talking about? But I rap about life. You know what I mean? And how it's moving. Some people can't rap about life. They gotta, you know what I'm talking about? And then he got to saying, well, who made this music? You know what I'm talking about? Who was in the studio with you and said, yeah, that was okay? You know motherfuckers be trying to live vicariously through their children. You know what I'm saying? Make me a rap, son. You know what I'm talking about? It sounded good. That nigga don't know about what you do. You know what I'm talking about? So he can't do that. And then if you invite him to your world, he probably wouldn't want to be your son no more. But yeah, 30th Special also went in on Jim Jones and told him, look, sir, how are you even viable enough to be talking about my bars? You know, tell her who is you? 30th Special was kind of crazy. You know, well, I ain't gonna lie, he told the truth. For real. Like Jim Jones. You sure didn't have no bars not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for balling, you probably wouldn't even have no. But that's no here nor there. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to 38 Special, bro. Cause I definitely could have kept going. You know what I'm talking about? Speaking of going, which way are you going? Which way are you going, sir? Left or right? I seen the whole story where it was funny to me, right? Because this was happening during that time. For all you young people, y'all might not even get it. You know what I'm saying? You probably ain't never seen that man outside of this type of light. But I remember when uh Master P was a rapper. And he was screaming ghetto dope. You know what I'm talking about? Excuse my language. Forgive me. You know what I'm talking about? This is a parental advisory, explicit content. Okay? So put the babies up. So I remember, okay? I remember when you was selling dope, sir. And you was the rapper in the hood. You from Angola. You from the projects. Everybody known for you for rapping and bagging and trapping. You know what I'm talking about? And you got out here and said, I'm a hooper. Everybody in my family hoopers. Then you had people even saying that you hooped and then you was saying like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? All I did was dribble the basketball. And I went, so when if you all you did was this, when did you have time to trap? When did you have time to tell me how get ghetto though? Me like this ghetto though. Remember that? I remember that. I remember how many people you had. You know what I'm talking about? And you was making them deals and this, that, and that, and other. So when did you have time to play basketball? Or when did you have time to trap? You gotta make up your difference, sir. You can't be a rapper and a trapper. I mean, you 60 now, so nigga don't even really care if you was rapping and trapping for real. I just seen it I just deemed it kind of odd that nigga you was a hooper, then a trapper, then a trapper, then a hooper. But I mean, I guess this is for you to get your viral moment. So I just want to know who you are. Shit, I'm confused at this point. You know what I'm saying? Or did you get that magical deal and now all of a sudden you whatever they wanted you could be? Because nigga, you did go and play for the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Shout out to you though, Master P. Or Percy Miller. Whichever person you want to be. Shout out to both of y'all, I would imagine. Shout out to Big Meech. You know what I'm talking about? I guess Big Meech said he loved the hoes. You know what I'm talking about? Or do the hoes love him? Because I guess he was having a picture day. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if it was in a jewelry store where it was at. You know what I'm saying? But you and two lovely ladies took a picture. And then one of the young ladies got out the picture. And the lady that was taking the picture began to say, you are one of the reasons why I wanted to sell drugs. She said, I'm legal now, though. And he raised his cup up and said, shit, we all legal. Remember what I said. We all legal. You know what I'm talking about? You had your moment. I had my moment. You know what I'm talking about? Life is about moments. Whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, damn, look at the Detroit player. He like, ooh, she looked like something. I'm going to have to go and get on that. You know what I'm talking about? Already. I wanted to jump into that. You know what I'm talking about? Before I got to this. I actually went forward instead of went backwards. But let's go back to Lunel. Shut up, Lunel. You know what I'm talking about? I guess you was in Texas somewhere. You know what I'm saying? On one of them radio shows. You know what I'm talking about? And you from LA. So you was a little tired. You know what I'm talking about? And you pull up to the radio show. I guess you like to listen to radio shows before you pull up to the radio shows. And you got to the radio show and was wondering like, damn, I came to talk about my show. Why y'all ain't talking about the show before the show start? And then, you know, y'all got into a back and forth. And then she like, nigga, I got family that can pull up to this station. And whoever was talking to you said, I'm from Texas. I got family too. And Lunel was like, I got family in the building. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all got into a bickering back and forth. And then one of the hosts was like, well, look, Lunel, what you want to talk about? Lunel like, listen, I wanted to talk about my shows, but hey, y'all acting like y'all this ain't what y'all want. Well, look, I got a whole different kind of energy going on. I ain't never seen Lou. I know Lou Neal can get mad. You know what I'm talking about? And if you followed her on Instagram at any point in her life, nigga, you done seen her transform. You know what I'm talking about? You done definitely had a story or two. So I'm like, oh man, y'all done brought out the wrong Lou Neal. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all talking to the person who face be upset all the time, not the person that's smiling and know Jesus. You know, already. Shout out to Lunel though and your family. You know what I'm talking about? For real. Yeah. Hopefully you made it back to LA safely. You know what I mean? Already with the alreadys. Shout out again to 38 Special and Jim Jones. So I guess Jim Jones, after they had they bickering back and forth, decided that he wasn't gonna rap. He was gonna let this young bulls rap. You know what I'm talking about? And go get the young man. But the young guys was like, look, we on your carrot top. You feel me? And 38 Special said, hey, I done had you, Jim Jones, me and you been on the same venues before, and it was only 1,000 people in the seats. You know how much 1,000 people? You know how little, how minute 1,000 people look in a stadium? Yeah, you ain't never been to a concert. I mean, it's plenty. Even though it might have been in Joe Louis Arena, or it might have been in Cobo Hall, but in both of them venues, they sit like 20,000. You know what I'm saying? If you cut Joe Louis in half, it's about 20,000. If you buy out the whole Cobo Hall, because there's a difference between buying half of Cobo and all of Cobo. It's about 20,000 people, maybe a little more, a little less. And yeah, it looked kind of small. You know what I'm talking about? So for him to say y'all had 1,000 people venue, it don't even mean 1,000 people was in there. That's just how many people it could hold. You feel me? It looked very small when you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I laughed when I seen the Jay-Z venue, but I can hear the echoes. I said it, I commented it. I said, man, I can hear the echoes. I can hear Beyonce clearly. So I know it ain't enough people in there. I've been to concerts before. I know it ain't enough people in there because I can hear exactly what you're saying clearly. And that's what I got my hearing aids in today. That's without the hearing aids. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. But I guess Jim Jones, 38 Special, Joe, you going at a lot of people. Joe and Jada, I guess y'all gonna get it together because the bar's gonna get heavy, and we gonna see. Can you rap? I really think not. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna need some help. Sure, you ain't got no check for me, so you know how that go. Already with the alreadys, but you know that's when the doctors start coming in. You know what I'm talking about? People be acting their age instead of their shoe size looking at. Y'all gonna make it happen though, cause y'all like rapping, right? I got like 2 more to go, maybe even 3. I don't know how long it's gonna go, but we're gonna do these 2 and we're gonna get on up out of here. Shout out to Marky Mark and his ALS challenge. I don't know what you was doing, Marky Mark. You got in the tub. The tub was probably heated. And then when the water got spilled on your head, it didn't even have no ice in it. So we don't even know if that water was cold. You did it relatively quickly and even looked up at the person that was giving you the water. Because there wasn't ice in there. So shout out to Marky Mark for the ALS water challenge. Because that's what it was. You know what I'm talking about? Complete the mission, Marky Mark. You might have to do that over again. Yeah, with some ice this time. You know what I'm talking about? Since you want to be part of the Bunchy Bunch. Shout out to Marky Mark, though. You know what I'm saying? Glad you completed the mission, good brother. You must not been listening to what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? We clearly, you know what I'm talking about? We clearly trying to find us something else to do. Some more, and putting some add-ons that ain't got nothing to do with what's going on is just you making matters worse. You know what I'm talking about? We don't need your ad libs in this type of situation. We need you to sit back, and if we need you, we'll call your phone. That type of that's what type of time we on, sir. I appreciate you though. Shout out to Chris Johnson and his family. They love doing this. Nigga, ain't none of that. Yeah, there you go. Love doing this. Like I want to answer the phone. Crazy, bro. What was I at? Oh yeah, speaking of that, shout out to Noel Wells. Noel Wells. Let's see it again. Nolan Wells. The pronunciation got messed up in the fog. And I guess Nolan Wells is going to have the autopsy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Colin Kaepernick's advisory board. You know what I'm talking about? He going to have the autopsy. Now, they didn't have the bickering back and forth. I'd have been listening to some of the podcasts between DJ Academic, a couple of his white associates, counterparts, should I say. And it's just funny to listen to one side of the story and then the other side of the story. And both none of us know the difference. Some people even they trying to state that the young lady didn't even know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no clue. They don't even know who she is. You feel me? How everybody at the party don't know who the person at the party is. It's crazy. You know what I'm talking about? But what's gonna happen when they do the autopsy and they don't find no water in his lungs? Or they find just enough. You could drown off a teaspoon of water, so he could have a teaspoon of water and say he drowned. But then what? You know what I'm talking about? Me personally, it's cool with the autopsy, but it's a lot of bearing news that we got to deal with. Like, you know what I'm saying? How did y'all get the cell phone? Some people say he was brought to the establishment. You know what I'm saying? On the boat, they cleaned the boat up. You know what I'm saying? And then he 18. Most 18, well, it's 2026, so 18-year-olds don't even leave their phone under no circumstances. I'm an elder statesman, and I don't leave my phone, so I know you ain't leaving yours. You know what I'm talking about? And you let it's cool that y'all had a pool party and you left it in the crib, right? But you ain't finna leave it too long without trying to check on it, trying to, you know what I'm saying, do something with it. You know what I'm talking about? He ain't shared nothing. He ain't take no pictures. What's up with the deleted messages? No, you had to message the white girl back and forth. In a small venue like that, and you the only black person, she definitely want to know what's going on. Yeah, it's a lot of variables with this. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna slowly get to where we trying to get to. You feel me? Well, I talked about ALS, and I talked about NOLA. You know what I'm talking about? And we at about 30 minutes. So, you know what I'm saying? All that's viable for what we got going on today. We ain't got to do much. We ain't got to talk about much. I appreciate all those. Shout out to Adrian Broner. Shout out to Casanat. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you young people. You know what I'm saying? For being with me for so long. You know what I mean? Without no y'all, it would be no me. You know what I mean? Always. And remember that. You know what I'm talking about? Now, my opinions and the things that I express on this channel is left on this channel. When I take this mask off, I'm back to my regularly scheduled program. So don't never forget that. I'm just reporting what I think you might be thinking when you're thinking what you thought. You know what I'm talking about? And if you see the light, you know it's real. And with all that being said, as the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.